back to the Groove Podcast, man. It's your man, Paul Wilson, a.k.a. DJ Population, your host for Spring 21 of the Sigma Alpha Chapter Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, man. I am here with a few of my good brothers. First and foremost, I got the big dog Pitbull with me, our Basilisk, our president, our CEO, Brother Khalid Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Boss man.
Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Tell him about
88.
it. Tell him about it. What you
Gamma
said?
Lambda Theta Psi.
What year you said?
Spring 88.
Spring 88. Oof. All right, boy. And we also got my other brother in the house would be tonight, man. Brother Ricky Hemingway. Tell him about it, Ricky.
All right, Brother Hemingway here. Omicron Pi, 1981.
1981?
That's it, brother.
Oh, man. So congratulations on that. My brother, milestone years in the frat. And I also have with me my brother and my brother, Brother Shelly Rochelle, Spring 19 Sigma Alpha. What's up, bro?
What it do, what it do.
How you doing, man? You good?
I'm good.
Brothers, how we feeling tonight, man? First of all, congratulations to Brother Hemingway, who just retired from how many years on the gig, man?
31.
31 years on the gig. Yesterday was your last day.
Yesterday was the last day, and today was the first day.
Today was the first day of the rest of your life, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Congratulations to Brother Hemingway, man.
Thank
We're
you,
proud
brother.
of you, brother. You know what I'm saying? We love to see and hear those types of stories and that kind of stuff. But, you know, we here tonight, man. We just kicking it in the basement, man. We in the backyard. We outside in the element, just having some conversation. And Brother Mo, you got some things you want to get off your chest, huh?
Just a little bit. Just
Yeah.
a little bit, big
Well,
bro.
go ahead, man. The floor is yours, Brother Mo. Tell me what you want to talk about tonight.
My question is, how long will it take for us to, to mend this undergraduate, graduate understanding that we have moving forward into the millennia?
How long?
How long?
How long it's going to take?
Yes, indeed.
So, first of all, let me ask you this. From your perspective, what do you think brothers need? What are brothers not doing?
I wouldn't know what they're not doing, but I think what we're failing to do is to recognize that we all are made from a different type of fabric. And with that understanding that we have is that, you know, we're all coming from a different time. We have different times in the fraternity. You're talking about 110 years of moving forward, whereas we want to base all of our understanding on what the founders did. And whatever the founders did is different than what we are evolving into now.
Well, let's give them a little history about the founders and what the founders did. What do you think the founders' original intent was when they started this fraternity?
I think the original intent was to bring a social awareness. We were dealing with a time where we as people of color were looked upon in a different way. So in this time and place and space, I think we're still dealing with the things we were dealing with at that time, but just in a whole different perspective. So now when brothers are coming into the fraternity, we are doing things that might not be really acceptable for what that time was, but in this time, we're doing more that things that are unacceptable, and we're being penalized for them.
81, you've been in the frat a long time. A long time.
40 years.
40 years, right? That's a long time. That's a lifetime, right? So you hear what Brother Mo is talking about. What's your perspective on that?
Well, when you go back, the founders, when they came in, you look at each founder. Each founder had a different outlook on different things that he was doing. They were able to touch different areas, and they brought it into the fraternity to help the brothers out in need or help the brothers out. However, a lot of the guys that come in the fraternity now, they're not coming to help. They're coming just to wear the colors. They're coming just to say that I belong to Omega Psi Phi fraternity. They coming for a political gain. They coming for to stick it on their window where in their business where somebody say, oh, he's a Q, I'll go to him. So, we got to get back to where the founders were. The founders wanted to help everybody. They wanted everybody to be a part some way that we could touch somebody. All four of us sitting here tonight, we have different areas that we can touch people in. And we need to use those areas in touching people and bring them in. When we bring people in the fraternity, we got to start looking at what we're bringing in. because if I bring somebody in and I'm not doing nothing, I'm not about nothing, that person's not going to be about nothing.
Right.
That's the way I see it. I could be wrong, but I see it like that. So we got to watch who we bring in.
And see, for me, I'm just soaking up all this game. I'm new to the fraternity, and just learning from people like you that's been in the frat for 40 years, people like, Brother Mo. It's interesting to hear this perspective and hear y'all talk about it. So I want to ask you both, like, where did it go wrong? Where did it change? Where did the paradigm shift?
I think the paradigm shift with understandings. We are still trying to live in a time warp that was then. That time that was then 110 years ago are not what's happening now. Whereas we have different tools of communication, we have different ways to communicate. Everything probably was written down then, and now we're moving in a more technically savvy, time. So when brothers see a thing that probably once was, and now we try to transcend that into now, it causes us a whole lot of misunderstandings because it's not communicated all the way through. If I do something in that time, we were more socially aware. We came together and we talked to each other. Whereas now a brother would be around another brother. I would sit here for hours and you would never introduce me or take the time to give me a formal introduction of who I'm speaking with. So everything from that which was to now is totally different. Brothers are doing things that, you say at that time probably would have been very disrespectful. It now is unacceptable and an unacceptable behavior in Omega. So now which was, hey, we had a time that we would do things a certain type of way. We would go through a process. That process is speeded up. It's like a time warp, okay? And it becomes the cash cow for Omega. Now you pay, you become a brother. I didn't like the way he did that. But it was what we did and what we failed to do, which causes us the harm and hurt that we're experiencing right now.
So let me push back a little bit, right? Let me get his perspective. I always like to look at issues from a number of different angles and play devil's advocate sometimes. So 110 years ago when the frat was founded, right? Like you said, it was a different time, right? And at that time, there was a stronger sense of unity amongst the black community as a whole, right? Because we were fighting against so many other enemies, if you will, right? Fast forward, now that sense of unity is bleak, right? So when you think about brothers that are coming in now, many of them don't have that same sense of foundation of we have to stick together, is life or death, like it was back then. So, that mentality that you speak of could be tainted by that. What you think about that?
I would beg to differ. I think that when we look at things through this, this tunnel, our mentality may be the oppressor that oppresses us. What I think and what another man thinks, we can agree and also be disagreeable. And then we can come back here and also have like ideals and attainments, So therefore, I don't think that, it's so much as, hey, what I didn't know is what I choose not to know. And if I begin to keep myself in a state of mind that I'm going to be ignorant about things, then I'm not going to be able to help the masses. The organization was founded on social. So out here in the community, we were picking individuals, or we were choosing up individuals that were doing things that would help get and keep us in the frame of mind of focus of who we are and why we're here. So I think once we get in that side of mind of who we are and what our purpose is in life, what's your purpose? Why are you here? Why did you come to Omega? Why was it so important that you become a part of the most powerful organization in the world and to treat it as if it was, some type of, unacceptable rationale? So I think that if we begin to take the focus of, hey, this is why I did what I did, this is going to be the legacy that I'm going to be leaving. Otherwise, I'm going to taint the legacy. So therefore, there will be no need to think that Martin Luther King was this, and then now in this era, he's that. And to use any type of trivial excuse of why it is that I don't stand up, wake up and be the man that I'm supposed to be.
And see, I feel this way also, is that the founders had a reason why they built the fraternity the way they did 110 years ago. They had their reasons and they had the things that they put in place. Now, today I know everything has changed as far as computers and A lot of brothers, older brothers, don't know how to use the computers, don't know how to do a lot of the things that they're doing. But the fraternity never changed. What the founders set aside and what they wanted is still what we should be doing. And those brothers should be still doing the same thing. We got brothers want to ask crazy questions. When I say crazy questions, I was asked, what is the frat car? Brother tried to challenge me on what is the frat car. Well, the frat car is anything I want to drive. But see, we know how to challenge a brother and what to challenge him on. We know the things to challenge. But when we start sitting around and we're drinking, some of the young brothers drinking, then they start making crazy questions up. Well, I bet you don't know this. Then the next thing you know, they take it out. Then I'm not gonna know what the frat car is. But I know what I'm supposed to know when it comes to the things I'm supposed to know, that the founders wanted me to know. And that's where I think a lot of young guys are taking this thing to a different level that shouldn't be taken.
Well, I believe the founders wanted us to maneuver through life a little more professionally and beneficial, and asking questions like that. Really, what does it do? It's good for sitting around, jacking around, with the bros, but like, what are we really trying to teach each other? Are we trying to teach you how to live and how to be a good person in society, or we just, run around with these challenging questions? What's important?
With me, I can sit with you all day, Shelly, and ask you all kind of questions. But do that make me know you?
Doesn't.
I don't know you as a man. I don't know you as a brother. But when I start talking to you about the fraternity and about different things, I know you better. The other thing is I'm giving you history and you're giving me back the answers to a lot of questions that I want to know anyway. If we sitting down having that conversation about the fraternity and about when it was formed, about our founders, and about the shield, about everything we need to talk about. So you're giving me this stuff, but if I'm just kind of drill you and put you to the side and make you feel like you don't know nothing, I'm not doing my job as a brother.
And you're not living it.
Right.
When you talk about living it, you talking about living your creed?
Yes, sir. Live your creed.
Speak on that a little bit.
I think when you look at living your creed, it's about you. It's your DNA. It's your genetic makeup. No one can force anything on you because no one forced you to be a brother. This was something that came, about whether I wanted it or not. If my mother had another son, he becomes my brother. And whether he is fraternal and or not, but if he's my brother for life, even if he comes from another mother. When I'm living my creed, this is, where I'm going to live, and there's supposed to be expectations and experiences that are going to change the way that I think about things. I may want to do it that way. That's an experience. And the other experience might be that, hey, my mother tells me that. The chapters into which we come with are called mothers. And then all the others are called brothers and or sisters and or uncles and aunts or what have you. And they're supposed to help us and shape our understanding. Sometimes we don't want to understand, but that's why a brother should never get away nor try to nor want to. And so therefore, the things that I might not want to do, if I have a brother, more than a friend, that's going to be there for me and help me with my understanding, because I might not understand everything and all things at all times. And I'm thinking if that person is there to help guide me and what have you, and that's the purpose and understanding of why I came into this organization, then I think we're going to have a better outlook on what it is that we're going to experience as far as whatever our legacies are going to be.
And see, the other thing I look at as my brother, if you call me 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and you say, hey, bruh, I'm in a situation that I need help in, I don't need to tell you, well, look, man, call Shelly or call the police, call somebody else. I need to tell you, bruh, I'll be there in a few minutes. That's what I'm looking for. Brother, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, if I'm in need, I'm not calling you if I'm not in need.
Right.
But if I call you, I'm in need. Come and help me. So we should help our brothers out and do more and be about brotherhood.
So just, to wrap up this segment, I want to ask, 81 and 88, what's your message to the younger brothers that just came into the fold, like myself, like Shelly, spring 19, he's been in a little longer than me, got his feet a little more wet, but what would be the message, if you could speak to every brother that came in 21, spring 21, what would be your message to them around what we've been talking about today?
Well, first of all, you got to be a brother. Brother Bossa said it just now about a brother, what a brother is. And you got to be a brother to another brother. And you can't act like he's not a brother just because of the way pledging is now versus to how we pledge. I started pledging in September and didn't get off the line until January the 10th. So that was then. That's not now. But yet still, I learned the same information that a brother that's been online now for 4, 5 weeks or however. So he knows the same thing I know. That's still my brother. I can't go around saying, hey, man, you didn't pledge like I pledged. You didn't take wood like I. No, it's not meant to allow that stuff to happen now that happened then. So we got to be, the older brothers got to be more in tune with the younger brothers and saying, hey, that's still my brother. And the younger brothers got to be able to say, go to the older brothers and say, teach me. Show me the way.
Something about building bridges, right?
Right.
Brother Mo, what's your message to the younger brothers coming into the fold right now, man?
What I think we deal with now is a lot of emotion and enthusiasm. And I think we spend a lot of time worrying about the process. At that time, it was always taught for you to be the strong man. And now we're dealing with a lot of issues that deal with mental concerns that we were not focused on maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago. So brothers began to try to mix what was, and I'm dealing with emotions, and I'm dealing with a mental capacity, I'm dealing with the process. So I think as we begin to learn and grow, and we put a lot of what we call hostile understandings to the side and more humility and not worry about humility as much, I think we're going to be moving in the right directions as far as the next 100 or 200 years in the concepts of what Omega is really about.
What's up, Shelly?
I wanted to add to this conversation. Me being older, coming into the frat, it's not a thing where I'm already kind of set in, my finances and my ways. But
what?
Excuse me,
It's all good. You already setting your finances and setting your ways.
But I'm pretty much here to to do the work. Like, I mean, I did all of the wild stuff and jacking around when I was a kid. So it's pretty much more like business for me at this point.
Yeah, and I think it was business for the founders too, right? It was a business focus. It was a focus of taking and creating an organization, a rest haven for African American males that were like-minded and strong individuals. And I think a lot of those tenets still exist. I think Brother Hemingway, you brought up a good point about building those bridges between the older brothers and the younger brothers. The younger brothers, we come from a different era, right? And we have, different ideas and different innovations that we can bring to the table. But the younger brothers also have to respect the history and respect the foundation of what the frat stands on, and showing deference in protocols and whatnot.
In anything, I think that you join, you need to know the foundation, and you need to know what the principles are, what it stands on.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, I want to thank you, man. This is just part one of this conversation, because we're gonna get a little deeper into that whole process conversation and the grad versus undergrad conversation too, because I know that those things sometimes create barriers in the frat, and so we want to do what we can to knock those barriers down, man. It's your boy DJ Population, aka Paul Wilson, Spring 21 Sigma Alpha, man. I'm here, and on behalf of my brother, the big dog Pitbull, brother Muhammad, and brother Hemingway 81, and brother Rochelle, we want to thank you for lending us your ear right here on the Groove Podcast, man. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.